Hey everybody! So I thought I'd do a video talking about my trip to America, because if I don't, ChibiGissy is going to be very cross with me. I'm joking, I do genuinely want to do this. So yeah, this was an interesting experience for me. As I mentioned in the video where I made the announcement that I was doing this was my first time ever travelling alone to a place, and it was also my first time ever travelling to California and Illinois. I've been to America before, but both times I went to Florida. So yeah, this was a new experience for me on multiple levels, but it was really a wonderful and absolutely fantastic time, and you're probably going to hear me say that a lot throughout the course of this video, but it really was just an amazing trip, and, well, besides which, you're used to hearing me repeat the same point over and over again at this point anyway. But, where to begin? Well, might as well begin with the flight. The flight over there was really good. I paid a bit of extra money so I could have extra legroom because, well, I'm 6'3", and when you're a tall person, you want the extra legroom on a flight. I mean, I've been on flights before where just regular legroom, like long flights, and it's an absolute nightmare when you're a tall person, so that was definitely worth doing, and I'm glad that I did. The extra legroom made all the difference. But yeah, the flight over there was really good. Because I was going to California during the week of E3, everybody assumed I was going there for E3, but sadly I wasn't. But I think E3 is only really fun if you're a journalist anyway. So yeah, and besides which, seeing AfroOtaku was far more important to me than E3 anyway. Though I did keep up with the E3 news while I was there. But yeah, the flight was good. I finally managed to see a lot of movies that I've wanted to see but hadn't actually seen. I finally watched Frozen. Yes, I was the one person who had never seen Frozen, but now I've corrected that mistake. I watched the film Zootropolis, which is the European name for Zootopia. Don't know why the title was changed, but really it's the exact same film, only with like one word changed. Again, don't know why they did it, but that was really good. I really enjoyed Zootropolis, Zootopia, whatever you want to call it. I've mentioned before in videos how it's very rare that I cry at anything in the media, especially in animation, and Zootropolis, there was one point in the film where I didn't cry, but I was feeling myself welling up a bit. This is over a cartoon rabbit, for crying out loud. So no, that speaks wonders for how powerful the film is. That was a good film. I also finally saw the film Creed, which, if you don't know, is a spin-off to the Rocky series. But you never pictured me as a fan of Rocky, eh? Creed was a really good film. Creed I really enjoyed. I thought that was a very, very well done film. So when I got over there and finally got through customs, which, by the way, getting through customs was an absolute nightmare. Oh my gosh, it was so badly organised and so understaffed. Like, you know, a flight has just come in and they only had like 3 people working the desks. There was like, I don't know, good 20 or so desks, only 3 people were actually working them. And typical, everybody was taking forever to, you know, complete the process of explaining why they're in the country and whatnot. So, oh my gosh, that was an absolute nightmare to get through, but I got through it. I claimed my baggage, and I went out and met with AfroOtaku, who had made a huge banner to welcome me into the country, so that I was really flattered about. That was really lovely. So I stayed with AfroOtaku while I was over there. He was nice enough to let me stay with him, which was absolutely lovely. Saved me a lot on accommodation. We spent most of our time in Los Angeles while I was in California, because it was the closest to him, and, you know, someone's being nice enough to let you stay with them, you know, you want to do things that are relatively close to them. So we did a lot of stuff in Los Angeles. We went to Universal Studios, which was a lot of fun. I have been to the Florida one before, but that was a long time ago, and I think each park is different. I could be wrong on that point. Am I thinking of Disneyland when I say that? But either way, I hadn't been in a while, and there were a load of new rides I hadn't been on before, so that was a lot of fun. Universal Studios was a great time. One of the rides we did go on, which wasn't there last time I went to Universal Studios, was the Harry Potter ride, which was fun. Don't get me wrong, it was fun, but oh my gosh, is that ride intense. Well, it was a lot more intense than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be a simple, like, simulation thing, but oh no. This thing rocks you left and right and centre, forward and backward, oh my god. Right, I don't often get motion sick on rides. That was the first ride to ever make me feel motion sick. yeah, it was fun, but my stomach felt bad after it. After we did that, we had to do the Universal Studios tour afterwards, which was cool. That was very interesting, but we just had to do that to just do something slower to settle our stomachs. But yeah, Universal Studios was a lot of fun. We did the Hollywood Walk of Fame while we were there. That was really cool, and we did go to the Chinese theatre where all the handprints are, so that was really cool. And after that we went to Madame Tussauds, which I've been to the London one before, but that was a really long time ago, so... but anyway, yeah, going to Madame Tussauds was a lot of fun as well. We had a great time while we were there. We went to a lot of different shopping malls. We went to Balboa Island for a bit and ate in a 50s diner when we were there, which was cool. One day we met up with a friend of AfroOtaku and ChibiGissy, who's also a fan of my videos. Her online alias is Freaking Goddess, and it was lovely getting to meet her. Freaking Goddess, if you're watching this, it was wonderful again to spend that time with you, and I hope that we can keep in contact even after my trip is done. We went to the cinema to see Warcraft with a couple of AfroOtaku's real-life friends while I was there, and that was fun. The film itself was just okay. It's really, really okay. I know that film's got a lot of negative reviews, and I will say for like the first 10 minutes I had no idea what was going on, but it's okay. So after spending little over a week with AfroOtaku, we flew over to Illinois to meet up with ChibiGissy. Spending time in Illinois was a lot of fun as well. The first day there we went on a tour around Chicago, and Chicago is simply a beautiful city. I absolutely loved Chicago. What got me about it though was just how big the buildings actually are. I mean, we have some tall buildings over here in London. They are nothing compared to like tall buildings in places like Chicago. I mean, just looking at them made me get vertigo. It was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. In fact, I was actually in London properly a couple of days ago, and I was looking at the buildings there and I was like, nah, they don't do it for me anymore. But Chicago, beautiful city. It was really fascinating going around there, going on the tour around there. Although, like, we were on a tour bus and sitting up the top because, you know, you need to sit up the top to see the sights properly. So we're sitting atop this tour bus, and because I'm quite tall, we drove past this area which had some trees with some quite low hanging branches, so I was having to like matrix dodge them. I was like dodging branches left, right, centre, yeah, I'm having to dodge branches, and AfroOtaku and ChibiGissy are sitting behind me, so I turn around to them and I'm just like, yeah, I think I've got a talent for this. And the second I said that, as if to like get me back for getting cocky, I turn around and then one hits me right in the face. It's almost like the trees are saying, that's what you get for getting cocky. It was like setting up a comedy routine. It's just like, yeah, I'm good at this. Whack! Oh. It didn't hurt, like, it really didn't hurt, but it was just funny. Also, while we were in Illinois, we went to see Finding Dory, which I got to see before anybody in England, so that's a plus. Finding Dory I really enjoyed, and I enjoyed it a lot more than I did Warcraft. No, Finding Dory was really good. That was a good time. It was, yeah. The day after that we went to Six Flags, and I know there's a Six Flags in California as well, but we went to the Illinois one so we could do it with ChibiGissy. That was a lot of fun. Six Flags was great. We had a great time at Six Flags, although I experienced the second ride that made me motion sick there. It was called the Revolution, and it's like one of those, you know, those swinging boat rides, except it didn't have the swinging boat bit. It had this like circular thing at the bottom which also spun around, and I warned people sitting next to me, prepare yourself, you're about to hear an Englishman scream, and they did. They did. Oh my gosh, we couldn't even walk straight afterwards. That's the thing, we actually couldn't walk straight after that ride. We had to sit down for a minute. We couldn't walk straight. That was a lot of fun. We did go-karting while we were there, which was fun, but ChibiGissy's go-kart broke down when we were doing it, which is, you know, typical, but she wasn't too torn up about it, so it was fine. What else did we do? We got to go on a brand new ride while we were there, which was Justice League Battle for Manhattan. It's like this 4D thing where you go around on a cart shooting things. It's similar to the Men in Black ride that was at Universal Studios. It was similar to that, except with the Justice League. That was fun. The queue was long for it, but it was a brand new ride, so it made sense. But that was fun. We had a good time on that. after Six Flags we just kind of had a chill out day to just kind of relax and kind of wind down after, you know, such an intense day the previous day. And that's when the Little Witch Academia thing happened. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I did do a video on this and I'll include a link to the video somewhere around here. I did do a video talking about this, but basically what happened was we watched the Little Witch Academia short films together because AfroOtaku had never seen them and ChibiGissy had only seen the first one, so we decided to to watch those together. Then literally an hour after we'd finished watching them, and by the way, we had been saying this should happen, an hour after we finished watching them, it was announced that there was going to be a Little Witch Academia TV series. So, that freaked us out. That was very freaky. Yeah, that was scary. Afterwards we went to get lunch and took a look in a comic book shop nearby where ChibiGissy lives, and I went on a bit of a spending spree in there, being the nerd that I am. I'm not going to show you everything I got there, but I will show you one thing I got, which was this. Because I had to. Because how could I not? It was too perfect to pass up the opportunity. Surprisingly, it's not about me. After that, we just wandered around Chicago for a bit more, just going to a couple of shops and restaurants there, and yeah, that was nice. And after that, I came home. But that was it. That was a brief, yet surprisingly long, summary of my trip to America, which it was overall just a fantastic, just amazing trip. If I had to pick a favourite moment, well, it's not really a favourite moment, but my favourite just factor about it was just going out there to meet AfroOtaku and ChibiGissy, you know, two people who, you know, I've only known through talking to over the internet. So actually get out there and meet them in person was just an incredible experience, and also something I've never done before. So yeah, just getting to do that was just amazing. And yeah, overall this has been a fantastic trip, and hopefully we will get to see each other in person again in the future. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the summary of my trip. So hopefully you enjoyed hearing me drone on about it for as long as I did. Anyway, more videos will be coming in the future. If you've been following me on Twitter, you've seen that I am currently finally getting back to work on the Dragon Ball retrospective. So that's a plus, and I will get back to watching Sword Art Online when I can and continuing my look through that. I know a lot of you are going to be saying, no, don't do it, don't do it, you're going to hate it, you're going to hate how it ends, and I'm just like, even if I do, I've got to see it through to the end, guys. I've got to. Anyway, for now I am signing off.